Hi, this is Simon with Dragonfly RC. Today we're going to start mounting our electronics on our SK450 quadcopter. What you're looking at now is, just to catch you up a little bit, we've taken off just the bottom plate so we can gain access to this area, and what we're going to do is take the power distribution board and we're going to mount it like this. And how we're going to do that is we're going to mark out holes all the way around the board, and then we're going to drill a hole in that section, put a plastic spacer in between here, probably have the screw go in this way and the nut come out on the other side, and that's how we're going to have our power distribution mounted there. It's really important that you keep that nice and steady so you don't have any of the wires popping off or anything through any hard falls or anything like that. So we're going to mount this on there really well. And again, what we're going to do is just mark the holes, and then we'll go from there. Okay, now we've drilled 2 holes here and here to help us mount our power distribution board. So we're going to go ahead and stick that on there and actually use zip ties to fasten it to the plate. Okay, so we've zip tied the power distribution board to the middle plate. I'm a big advocate of zip ties. They're really nice. If you crash, they just pop off instead of having like the board break or anything like that. They're a nice airbag pretty much. So we've zip tied them to the board. They're really easy to replace, so and it's on there really good. Now we're going to add the ESCs. Okay, now we're going to place the ESCs in. You're going to plug it into your power distribution board there. Run it through that little crevice. Again, the bottom plate will mount right here. This is the bottom, and then I've stuck some double-sided tape right there just to make sure it stays in the right place. And then we're going to stick that on. Then we're going to put some zip ties over it. Just kind of push that on. That's industrial strength double-sided tape, so you don't really need the zip ties. They're just kind of a backup. And then we're going to run the motor wires through these holes, and then the motors will connect up top. And I haven't put my plugs on yet. On those ones, I'm just waiting for those, and I'll have those installed soon. Okay, now you can see my ESC there. It's a 30 amp. I got it from Ready to Fly Quads. It's a BLUE ICE series, 30 amp, and this is going to be an awesome. It's flashed with Simon K. And you're just going to want to run the wires through these 3 holes. We're going to mount the motors up there, run the power cables into the power distribution board, and then run the servo lead up through this hole right here. And we're going to repeat that process with all 4. Okay, now we've mounted all 4 ESCs and ran the wires through the top of the leg to mount the motor. They're all connected to the power distribution board. And now we're going to stick the bottom plate back on. Take this and fold it over this way. And you know, when we have the battery in, it should be easy to connect if we have it just like right here. So once you get all that set up with the ESCs, make sure you run your Velcro straps through to hold on your battery on the bottom plate. Run through these 2 holes, or these 2 lines, and the battery's going to strap on this way. So now we're going to mount this back onto the rest of the frame. Okay, now we've put the bottom plate back on. We have our Velcro straps here. Actually put this on sideways. I'm going to turn it and put it back on. But that's it for the bottom and the ESCs with the power distribution board. Now we can move on to the next step. Okay, now you need to plug your CC3D wires exiting the board into your receiver in this order. Channel 1 needs to be black, red, white. Channel 2 is blue. Channel 3 is yellow. Channel 4 is green. Channel 5 is orange. And channel 6 is black. So make sure you do that in the right order, or it's not going to work out for you. Now we're going to mount the receiver. So I'm actually going to mount my receiver to the bottom of the top plate, and it will be upside down in there, and I'm going to just use double-sided tape and maybe a zip tie. You can see the receiver is mounted upside down right there. We have the wires coming out that's going to plug into the CC3D board, and now we have running the servo leads from the ESCs up through these little crevices. We're going to mount the CC3D board right here, and then we're going to plug these bad boys in and this in, and then we just have to put on the motors and we're almost done. Okay, I'm going to give you a really good look at this and what we've done here. This is all we're going to do for today. In the next episode, we will mount the CC3D board and the motors and probably do the programming. As you can see, the receiver is in there. It is mounted to the top plate, and it's just kind of hanging there. That's industrial strength, so it shouldn't really move anywhere. In there, and then you can see the power distribution board under the middle plate, mounted to it with zip ties. We have the power cable coming out the back, and the battery is going to be mounted right here and plug in right there. Should work very nicely. We have the ESCs mounted to the bottom of the arms, running into the power distribution board, and then back up through the arm. Then we'll mount the motors right there and do all our connections and get that set up. And then through the ESCs, they run up through the middle plate all the way through the top plate. And the CC3D board is going to be mounted right there. And then we'll mount the motors, and then we'll start doing testing and flying. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe for the rest of this build, and have a great night.